Well, I got it in my hand, but I can't see what it is. I just made a discovery. Well, good morning all. We're up in the beautiful Sierras on an absolutely perfect day. I can't believe that I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt and it's before lunch. Now, I'm up in an area, I was up here a couple months ago and it was so cold I couldn't breathe. And I was detecting this road, but it was so cold I was only willing to detect in the sun. Today, we're back. We're going to do a little more detecting. We're getting off to kind of a late start because I just finished doing 2 videos on how to adjust my metal detectors. And if you're interested in that, I don't know, I guess you got to go find them. I don't know how this works. But I'm going to grab the stuff, get my digging tools, and we're going to work on up this road. Now, if you look, this road is mostly quartz cobbles. They dug this gravel out of a tailings pit somewhere. Okay, well today's plan is I want to try to find a quartz rock with gold in it in a road. Now I have found them in the tailing pits, but I never really spent the time metal detecting the road to see if I could find one in the road. The curiosity been driving me crazy for years, so today we're jumping back on that and we're going to keep doing this until one of these days I'm going to find a chunk of gold in a road. All right, let's grab the stuff and get to work. My tools are going to consist of a crevice tool, a magnet to speed things up, and that's pretty much it. And the plan is, in the first run, we're going to go from the center line of the road out on the edge. I'm going to work all the way up till we get to that sunny spot on the top there. Then I'm going to work it back down. Then we're going to move everything ahead and keep going until I find some gold or lunchtime. Okay, let's get to work. Well, doesn't look like there's a lot of junk in the road. That's a good thing. Well, I got it in my hand, but I can't see what it is. I just made a discovery. I completely forgot I have new metal in my body. I can no longer use this hand. That would be titanium. Okay, we'll switch over to the other hand. Well, I'm not sure what this is, but it's heavy. I sure hope it's gold because it's a nice chunk. Well, here's our first target. I'm not really sure what it is. I'm going to run back over to the truck, grab some water so I can wash this off, see what it is. Our first nugget turned out to be a hunk of lead. And the reason I think it's lead is it's soft. And so I would imagine that one time this was a bullet. But it sure looks like a piece of gold to me. Well, you can't blame a guy for trying. All right, well, first target. Let's continue on. Okay, well, that section of road down there, we got it all done, but it's kind of funny is it ended up in the sun, and it was just too hot, so I had to move on up. I went up about a mile up the road, and I'm in a nice shady spot here, and just right over here, there's kind of a gradual incline. It's got a lot of nice gravel on it, so I thought we'd stop here, show you what I got so far, and then we're gonna go check that out. Okay, well, this is what we got so far. This is our collection of bullets, 22 casings, and nuts, bolts, and screws. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we're missing something. Gold. So what do you say we jump on this section over here and see if we can fix that? Well, there's one piece of steel. Yep, that was it. Well, I just finished that section, and it's way past lunch. I did find one target that was the last thing I expected to find on the road out here in the middle of nowhere. Let me show you that. A coin. A 1983 quarter, but it's still a quarter. All right, let me show you the other targets we got. Basically, a lot of wire, bolt, screws, a nail. Kind of glad I got that out of the road. 22 casing, a clip. But a lot of the targets are real tiny, like clump. A lot of the targets were just clumps of material. When I hit it with the magnet, it'd pick it up. So I just threw them all in the pan. I figure hopefully we'll find some water. If we do, we'll just kind of wash it all off and see what they were. I imagine they're just little chunks of steel that's wrapped up in the clay. It's kind of a real clayey soil here. Okay, well, I'm going to eat lunch real quick, and then we're going to head on down the road, and if we see another good-looking spot, we're going to stop and detect. Well, I figured if there's any bear around, this ought to get them in. I'm having smoked tuna that I caught last fall. So if this doesn't get them here, there aren't any around. I just finished another section of road. This one right behind me, I worked up the there's like a little flow line in the road. I worked up that and worked down the other side. And it's really funny how I'm starting to notice a difference in the sections of roads. That last section was full of little tiny iron objects and little clumps of stuff. This section, bullets. Hardly any iron at all. Or not bullets, but casings. Let me show you. I found one large, I don't know what it is, heavy metal item, a flat smashed piece of lead, and then, let me show you in the pan here, all kinds of rifle casings, 22 casings. I'm going to head on up this road. I'm in the process of trying to get out of here now. It's getting late, and I don't know if I'm going to end up having to drive all the way back out. I don't know if this road will take me out or not, but we're going to head on up this road. If nothing shows up and it's just a mundane road and I actually get out, well, then I'll see it back to the house. If I see something cool, then I'll stop, set the camera back up. Okay, let's move. Well, we're back at the house, and yeah, it's the next day. And that road, I never did go up that road because right after I put the camera away, a guy come by and stopped to talk to him, and we probably talked for an hour, and he was a local that's lived there his entire life, and he told me that I went up that road, I drove for about 3 miles and it'd been a dead end, and I would have to turn around and come right back. So I got to find out a little bit of local history, got to meet a guy, and super nice guy, and hope I get to see him again. Okay, now what I want to do, I've got the stuff we found sitting on the shelf over here, but I never did get that stuff in the pan cleaned up. So what I'm going to do right now is I got it all separated, and I got all the dirt and all that stuff I got with the magnet in the pan, and I'm going to take it and clean it up real quick and see what all those small targets were. So I'll be right back. Well, I just finished cleaning that up, and I actually had to fill up a tub and pan it. That really heavy clay was hard. I had to really break it down, but I'm kind of surprised by the results. There was quite a bit. I think they were steel shot in there. A lot of little pieces of iron, all kinds of little pieces of iron. And we actually got some gold. Now, we can't count the gold because it's not in the quartz, and it's so small, I don't know if I can pick it up, but let me show you what we got. Okay, here's our larger iron objects, and this, I knocked the dirt out of it, and I actually put that dirt in a pan and panned it, but I think this was an old oil cap off a motor. But there's a nail or miscellaneous iron objects. Okay, now, here's our smaller iron objects, and we have even smaller iron objects in the pan. And then this is our brass, 22 shells, looks like a 9mm. Some type of rifle shell or casing. And then here we have our lead items. There's our first nice nugget that turned out to be lead. And don't want to forget our 1989. Okay, now let's see if we can get the gold in here and get focused in on it. Now you can see we got a bunch of really, really fine gold up here. Well, that's kind of an interesting accumulation of stuff when you consider it came out of a road. You know, the nuts and bolts and screws you can see, and maybe the cartridges, but I tell you, there's a lot of different stuff in that road, considering, you know, I've covered very little of it. That little bit of gold, that's kind of got me intrigued. I'm guessing that came from the tailings pit, and when they washed that, they didn't get it all. So now the next time I go up there, and I am heading back up because I haven't given up yet. I'm going to get my chunk of gold out of that road yet. But the next time I go up there, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on those gullies, those little washers that come down the road, and see if there's any spots where the black sand's accumulating, and pay a little more attention when I find a piece of iron in that, and maybe just scoop up the ground with the iron and just throw it in a bucket, and when I get home, pan it all out and see if we can find a little bit of gold doing it that way. Okay, well, another reason I headed up there was a two-part thing for me. Was I was kind of curious to where the snow level is, and that was one of the reasons I took the drone up, was to get an idea. And looking at the drone, looks like we can go another 1,000 feet up without hitting snow. So the first chance I get, I'm gonna be heading back up that hill, because I want to get up to the high gold fields, and also I'm kind of wanting to find where that the pit where they got that gravel out of, and see if I can do a little detecting there. Okay, well, that's about it for me. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day.